Welcome everyone. I'm going live. Let's see. I think we're live everywhere. So hello, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. I am your host, Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Thank you all so much for being here today at this episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live on this beautiful day of May 26th of 2022. We're going to be discussing the theme of what is consular processing? What is consular processing? And what does that even mean? What is that term about? How do you do a case? How do you do a process at a U.S. consulate overseas? And we'll just jump right into that. And so, as always, welcome. If you're joining us on Facebook, hello and welcome. If you're joining us on TikTok, hello, welcome. Instagram, hello, welcome. And also, of course, to our friends on YouTube, hello and welcome. If you've got a question as we go through this, please send them my way. All right? We want to get to your questions. I do have a tight schedule today, so we'll do this in English and then we'll do it in Spanish also. And so welcome here to the Empowered Immigrant Live. Remember, at the Empowered Immigrant Live, we are here to train, to teach, to inspire, and to empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration laws and to make the most out of their lives. All right, today our theme is what is consular processing? And my question for you is, hey, do you want to get a green card? All right, do you want to get a green card this year? Is 2022 your year? Because if so, hey, there's no time like the present, and go for it. And I'd love to help you with that. And I don't know if you know this, but my firm is on a mission to win 10,000 immigration cases in the next 10 years. We would love for your case to be one of them. And it just starts with a phone call, people. Just starts with a phone call. Give our office a call. We are here to serve. We are here to help. We are here to win cases. And we would love to help you with yours, okay? So thank you to everyone who submitted their questions, and if you haven't submitted it, hey, please do so. I've received 3, I think, and so we'll get to those in just a moment. But first, I want to start our theme today of consular processing with a story, and this is one of my first cases. It's one of my favorite cases. I'll never forget it, and maybe it's one of my favorites because I was so new, you know. This was like 2011, when I was just getting started, right out of law school. And so it's one of my first cases. A man and his wife came into my office. She's a U.S. citizen. They had spoken with 3 other immigration attorneys in the past who said, no, there's no option here. Been in the U.S. forever. They had 2 kids. She wanted to help him get a green card. He had entered without permission, so he couldn't adjust here in the U.S. And there was something else that was going on with his case, and he wasn't exactly sure what it was. And so we ran FOIAs for him, and his FOIAs came back showing that he had a deportation order against him. Okay? He didn't even know it. This was without his knowledge. Okay? Like, yes, this happens sometimes. People are walking around in the U.S. with deportation orders against them, and they don't even know it. All right? And he remembered and put 2 and 2 together that some people had charged him $500 to get quote-unquote immigration papers back in the 1990s. Okay? And he never heard from them again, and when he went to follow up with them, their business had closed, and he thought he was just scammed by these people. They were just fraudulent. And he was scammed, don't get me wrong about that, but it was actually bigger than that, all right? Because what those people had done is they had filed an asylum application on his behalf, okay, for the purpose of getting him a work permit. He had paid them $500. They had him sign a form. He didn't know what he was signing, and that was their scam, all right? Now, the problem is that he never knew it happened, and so he never received the receipt notices. They didn't send it to his address, so immigration denied his case. All right, they denied his case. They sent him to immigration court, also without his knowledge. And because he didn't know, he never got the hearing notices, so he didn't go to his hearing. And when you don't go to a hearing in immigration court, the judge has to order your deportation. Got it? So all of that had happened. Fast forward to 2011, he had no clue that these things had happened. They had happened back in the 90s. So he comes into my office, and I review all these records, and it's like, oh my gosh, how do we fix this? It's a mess, right? How do we fix this? How does a U.S. citizen wife get a green card for her husband when there's all of these issues in the past? You know, so this is what I did, and I wrote it all out. This is my strategy, sticking to it. This is what we did. Step 1, file an I-130 from the wife. Step 2, file a motion to reopen that court case. Explain that he never received notice, that he was the victim of immigration fraud. Okay? We did this. We won that. That was my first ever victory on a motion to reopen. Okay? And we wanted to get rid of the deportation order through a motion to reopen so he didn't have to file a separate waiver for it. Okay, we won that. The court case got terminated. Next, we filed waivers for his unlawful presence. All right, anybody that's been unlawfully present in the United States, they need to file a waiver. And finally, step 4, we completed his consular process. He left to go to an interview at Ciudad Juarez in Mexico, all right, to consular process his green card. That story has a happy ending. He got his green card. He now is a U.S. citizen, all right? He lives with his wife, with his 2 kids in San Jose, California. He's active in his church. He's a great guy, all right? And it was such an honor to win his case. It took I think, 5 years, start to finish, to win that case. You know, the motions to reopen and everything else, the petition, each phase of the case took about a year. But we got it done, and now the guy's a citizen. So anyway, so that's an intro to the power of a consular process. Got it? And the power of going into it with a strong strategy. It's like, okay, these are our 4 steps, and let's just knock them through one at a time. So anyway, so what is consular processing, right? That was like the final stage of this guy's story to get him a green card. But what does it even mean? We hear about that term. What does it even mean? Well, basically, all right, basically it is processing a green card or a visa from outside the United States. The U.S. Department of State, all the embassies and ambassadors in all of the countries throughout the world, all right, they create essentially buildings that are called the consulates. And they're a place to go in your home country to apply for a visa, to apply for a green card, all right, from outside the U.S. So now you've got that document in your passport. You can get on an airplane and enter the U.S. lawfully. That process is consular processing. It can feel a bit scary for people, especially if you're here undocumented. It can feel a bit scary, you know, because you have to leave and go to your medical exam and go to your interview down there. A lawyer can't go with you. They used to be able to, but they can't go with you anymore, all right? And so you got to prepare that case super well so that you know, you know what you're doing to maximize your chances that everything goes smooth once you're doing it, and then you maximize your chances of getting that green card so that you can re-enter the U.S., and now you've got your green card. Okay? So I love to find solutions that don't involve U.S. consulates, all right? And so I love to avoid consular processing when possible, to adjust someone here in the U.S. when possible. I prefer doing that. I recommend that, all right? And consular processing is an important tool in the immigration lawyer's toolbox, all right? Sometimes it's the best way, sometimes it's the only way to get that green card so you can get done with this immigration process and get on with your life. Got it? My office does a ton of it, and we'd love to help you with that process if that's the situation for you. All right? Basically, it all starts with a petition. Once that petition is approved, it gets forwarded to the National Visa Center, the NVC, and they're going to ask for police clearances, for sponsorship documents, for a big long form, electronic form called the DS-260. After that, they'll forward the packet to the consulate, the consular post is the other way to term it, in your home country. If you're in Mexico, it's in Ciudad Juarez, in Mexico. You'll go there, you'll go to your medical appointment there, you'll go to your interview there. Once it's approved, you'll be given a packet. You got to keep that packet sealed, and you'll be given a visa in your passport to enter a plane, enter into the United States. Then you just pay a little fee called the Ellis fee, and they get you your green card. All right? Now, please note, many consular cases require waivers. If you've been unlawfully present in the U.S., if you have other issues, you'll need a waiver. All right, waivers can come up at different stages. They can slow down the case a little bit, but they are a step in the process. All right, and sometimes they are the best way to get you that green card. All right, that's all I wanted to say. That was a lot, maybe that was a lot of information. So thank you all for being here with me. So let's see, a couple shout outs to my friends on Instagram. Rafa, hello, welcome. El Flack, is that right? Hello, welcome. No, there isn't any news yet on DACA. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you for being here. Zuli, hello. Lupe, hello. Kyle, hello. Wave to everybody on Instagram. Hello, everybody on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Hello. Thank you all so much for being here. My name's Otis Landerholm. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm really, really grateful that you're here, giving me your time here today, talking about immigration law, talking about consular processing. I love it. All right. So let me get into your questions. My first question today comes from Melanie. All right. Melanie, thank you for asking that question. Your question is, I was deported 10 years ago. Can I file for a waiver or a pardon, and can I reapply for a green card? I have a U.S. citizen son, and my brothers and sisters are all U.S. citizens. All right, I got it. So Melanie, thank you for asking that question. You're not alone in that. And the answer is possibly. Possibly. It depends. There are ways to do it. When a person is deported, depending on why they were deported, but when a person is deported, that creates inadmissibility for 10 years. All right? And so you said it happened 10 years ago. And so maybe your inadmissibility now is done, and maybe your son or your brother and sister can petition you, since they are U.S. citizens. To do that, a child needs to be 21 first, all right? And that would be the quickest way. If your kids are 21, they could petition you to get a green card. But be careful, there might be other inadmissibility grounds. And so to start a case like this, we got to start with a consultation. Let's do that, and we can help navigate that process for you, all right? Sometimes we need to run FOIAs to request all the records to understand what happened and what really caused that deportation 10 years ago. All right, Melanie, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much. My next question comes from Ernesto. Ernesto, you say, I am an LPR, a lawful permanent resident, green card holder, born to a U.S. citizen father that obtained his U.S. citizenship from my grandmother, who was also a USA citizen. My father was born in Mexico. I'm not sure if or for how long he lived in the U.S., or if he did. He's now deceased. I'm 52 years old, married, and I'm looking to apply via the N-600 derivative citizenship. Are you familiar with, or any of your associates familiar with, this process? So Ernesto, yes, absolutely. We are familiar with that process. We've won the N-600. You're very smart and wise and savvy to look up that process. And depending on your evidence, right, if you don't have the proof that your father was living in the United States for at least 5 years after the age of 14, there's lots of very technical requirements depending on the date, your date of birth. there's a lot of technical requirements to see. So the N600 is a way to demonstrate that you were a citizen when you were born, okay? Even though your father was born, even though you were born in Mexico. So sometimes that does happen. Yeah, we would just have to look at it. If the N600 doesn't work, if you're a LPR, go for the N400 and just naturalize, So you would have options to become a citizen. You could do it either through the N600 process or the N400 naturalization process. And so, yeah, we'd love to help you with that. Give us a call. We could do that. All right. That is it as far as the questions that I've received. Let's see. Danitza on my team, hey, let me know if there are any other questions. Otherwise, we'll wrap up for today. If you have a question and if I haven't answered it, hey, please send it over. All right, please send. I'd love to answer it. I often upload videos. I was shooting additional videos answering other questions just this morning. If you want to see the information or see the answer to those, subscribe to our channel in YouTube. Click the notifications bell. We'd love to get you the additional updates and notification, so that you can see that. There's always news happening within immigration law. I don't want you to miss out, so just click that subscribe and notification button. All right? So awesome. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Again, my name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Remember, if you have an immigration case, please give us a call. We are here to help. And I will see you next week on our next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.